Hi guys, Steve Girardi here. Welcome to Steve Strings. Today I have another instrument review for you. Today we'll be looking at the PICKAPICK U23 concert scale ukulele. And let me say right up front that I really like this instrument. And I should say I was a little bit surprised by that, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. But before we dive into this instrument, which has a lot of really interesting details, I want to talk about the accessories that come with it fairly quickly. But I should say that even the accessories are really pretty interesting and worth pointing out some really interesting features. To start off with here, this instrument comes with a gig bag. And this is not your average sort of boring black or gray looking gig bag. This has an interesting color to it and interesting shape, and that is not kind of wasted. You can see it does have this extra sort of thick material where the tuners go, which is nice, it protects it. It has this angled pocket with all the basic accessories that come with this would fit in there. And I do like that this bag does open up all the way. And so it's really easy to get the instrument in there with no trouble. This instrument does come with a handle, but not just a simple boring webbing handle. This is a padded and a substantially padded handle. Very, very comfortable. It has two shoulder straps, which I like, because if you're riding your bicycle, or hiking, it'd be nice to have two shoulder straps. And another thing I really like about this, it has this hook. So if you want to hang this up on like a coat rack or something, you can hang it up neat and tidy. So the gig bag, that's something worth getting all by itself. It's also worth talking about the accessories that come with this. And the first one I should say is this webbing strap that has the same PICKAPICK logo on it, and it's the same color to go with the gig bag. Also, this instrument comes with this little accessories pouch with a number of things on this which really kind of set this apart from some other instruments, so they're really worth talking about. The first of these worth talking about is that it comes with a little card. And so if you got this to give to somebody as a gift, it comes with a card to give to them, and it has a bunch of colorful ukuleles, this ukulele, on it. Also, it comes, as you can see, with a PICKAPICK pick in it, and also it comes with these little labels that you can put on this card. And so if this is a thank you gift or a birthday gift, whatever, it comes with that. And I thought that was a nice little touch. I mean, it doesn't impact the instrument, but it's just a nice little touch. Another thing that comes with this, you can see here, is this beginner's guide. And I like what this has on here. It starts off with the basic anatomy of the ukulele. It tells you how to tune it, all the basic things you would need. Again, after how to tune, and I should say, this instrument does not come with a tuner, but they do point out, as a lot of us have figured out, that there are lots of free online tuners available. And they have a little picture here. They don't have the label there, but I can see it's a guitar tuner app, and they suggest get a free easy online app and you can tune it up. The other thing here, it shows how to change strings, which is nice because if you bust a string, you'd like to know how to do that. It also has a little page here on how to take care of your ukulele. So if you're a raw beginner, that's a nice thing to kind of get you started. And the other thing it has is this very colorful little book here, very nicely done, which is, it says beginner lessons on it, but basically it has the tunes for some songs in tablature, and you can see it here. And it has some, I'm not sure how many it has in here. Let's see, they've got 4 lessons. I guess the 4th lesson is Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Yeah, it has a number of lessons in here. And that's a nice little touch. Some other manufacturers have books as well, and this one has a very, very colorful one, which I kind of like. The other thing that comes in here is a pick guard. And that is nice because if you look on the Amazon page, you'll see that it has the pick guard installed. And so I like that they send it not attached, because not everybody wants a pick guard because they don't use a pick. And they might not want that color on there. But basically, it's just you peel the backing on it and you just put it in place right there. So if you want to see it as it looks on the Amazon page, you put the pick guard on and you have it. If you don't want the pick guard, you take it off. For starters here, let's go ahead and talk about some of the details of this instrument. Because as you can see, this has a painted soundboard. And typically I'm not a fan of painted ukuleles, but this ukulele is different. Now you can see on the Amazon page, they have a number of different colors to choose from. This one is sort of a pastel blue, which I rather like. But let's talk about that paint and how it relates to the rest of the instrument. First of all, you can see that it's only the soundboard that is painted. So the rest of this instrument has the sort of traditional, a mahogany body that you can see with a grain visible. And I like that. And this also has, as you can see, the classic binding. And so if this was just a regular spruce top instrument with mahogany side or back and sides with this trim on it, you say, oh, that's a very typical kind of instrument you've seen before. But this is different because just the top is painted, and again, in different colors. So if folks like more color, you've got that. The other thing you can see here is obviously this sound hole is very, very different. It's like slots that are like laser cut into there. Very neat. But also, not only does it have that, it has this sort of egg-shaped sound hole on the player's side, which is nice because that means most of the sound is coming right at the player, and I like that. But let's go ahead and look at the rest of this sort of systematically from kind of, top to bottom. You can see here that it has the Pick-a-Pick label or logo that is laser etched into the headstock. And this headstock is a mahogany veneer on what is reported as a mahogany neck. And you can see plainly, this is not the typical boring three-pointed crown ukulele. This is a different shape, and I applaud them just for having something different. This instrument has some sort of basic closed gear tuners, right? This thing does have a scarf joint here at the neck, and also has a joint here at the heel. You can see this instrument does have strap buttons here at the heel, and also here at the bottom of the lower bout. Obviously, the sound of the fretboard and bridge are not the typical rosewood or dark kind of a wood. These are, in fact, maple. And I'll try to zoom in here so you can see this, because this instrument does have position markers on the soundboard, but they're hard to see because they're white sort of rectangles that are inlaid into this maple neck. And so they're actually kind of hard to see. And hopefully you can also see that these position markers do not come all the way to the edge of the wood. So on the player side, you cannot see any position markers unless you basically rotate it so you can see the soundboard, and they're hard to see in contrast. So I guess that would be my only minor gripe about this instrument, is that if it were me, I would have liked to have those position markers be a dark color, whether it be black or some other dark color that contrasts with that maple. And I would have liked to have seen them come all the way to the edge of the wood so that they would be visible on the player's side as well. I think if they're looking at changing it, I think that would be something to improve that. But another really neat thing about this is I should say that these frets I cannot feel at all. And not only are these things just neatly dressed, but hopefully you can see that each of these frets has a sort of semi-hemispherical shape to them. That is to say, they are rounded all over the ends, and that is not something you typically see on an ukulele at this price point. And I should say, I'm reviewing this right now in December of 2021, and right now on Amazon, it's on sale for $76.69. So to get that kind of attention to detail on fret ends, you're typically seeing on instruments that are hundreds of dollars. And so that just blows my mind that they could do that. So again, if we're looking at this, again, this does have laminate mahogany back and sides. It has sort of a matte kind of a finish, which doesn't really make that grain pop, but it's a pleasant grain anyway, even with the finish it has. Also, as talking about this bridge here, you can see it is maple, and again, It's different. It's a different shape, not the typical sort of boring kind of a shape. And I like that. And also they have that sort of cutaway there on the fingerboard, to conform with the sound hole they have on the face of this. Okay, so that's a lot of talking about a lot of details here. I didn't mention the nut. The nut here is a sort of a grayish sort of plastic nut, as is the saddle. So they are not bone, they are a type of a plastic. The binding on this is an ABS binding, and again, it's binding without any purfling. But again, I think that's this part of it is classy, and this part of it is innovative. And I would say that all that would not matter if it didn't sound good, but this sounds good. I should say that the strings on this are nylon strings. So they did take a couple days to stretch in. I set them up a couple days ago, and I've been tuning them, and again, it's been slowly settling in. They are a relatively soft feel. So they're not a super high tension, and the strings they have feel good. I'm more used to playing with Aquas, so were I to keep this, I would probably swap them out. And I know some friends of mine, they really love fluorocarbon, and they want to put those on everything. The good news is, those are things that are personal choices, and you can do what you want with that. But these, out of the box, are good enough right now. So you heard this a little bit on the way in during the introduction. And you can see that this is typical GCEA re-entrant ukulele tuning. That is to say, the G is higher than the C. And I'm hoping you can hear that. It has some decent sustain. And the tone I would describe as sort of a bell-like tone. I typically like spruce top instruments. This is a laminate spruce top, not a solid spruce top, but it has a nice sound. So let me play a little more for you here so you get another sound sample, and we'll wrap this up. So there you have it, the Pick-a-Pick U23 concert scale ukulele. And as I said, I was surprised at how much I like this instrument. Well, I hope you found today's review video helpful. If you did, please give a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of the instrument reviews that I do, as well as the builds that I do, please subscribe. I'd love to have you come back and see more of the things that I do. Thanks for watching.